everybody, Mrs. Bolton here, and I'm here today to give you your foundation stage reading and phonics workshop. So the aim of this presentation is, first of all, to help you to understand the expected level in reading, so that's where we want the children to be by the end of the year, and also to help you to understand how to support your child at home to achieve this level in reading. So I'm going to begin by talking about the early learning goal for reading, so that's what we want children to be at by the end of reception, so you know where we're headed. We're then going to talk about reading, so that's going to start by talking about how you can help your child to read, talking about beginning stages of reading a book, and then reading to your child, and then later on listening to your child read, and then a little bit of information about talking about a book and about what common exception words are as well. Okay, so reading expected level. Reading is split into two strands, so comprehension and word reading. So we're looking at the understanding of the words and also the actual ability to read the words. So comprehension, as you read them a story, or later on as they may have read something, asking them to retell the story and maybe add some more vocabulary to that. Anticipate, so make predictions about what might happen next, what might happen at the end of the story. Vocabulary is a big one, which they'll be doing throughout their time at school when they're reading. If they come across a new word that's unfamiliar, just stop to explain what it means, and then see if they can apply it in different ways, maybe during their role play. All of these feed into their comprehension. Word reading, we're talking about phonics generally, so saying a sound for each letter. So instead of saying ABC, we say A, B, K. And 10 digraphs, what we mean by that is sounds that actually have more than one letter. So the sound ch, for example, has 2 letters in it. So that's a digraph. There are 10 of those that we would like the children to know by the end of the year. Reading words consistent with their phonic knowledge by sound blending. So that's actually taking the sounds, reading them out, and then blending them together. So if I had the sounds k, a, t in front of me, I could blend them together to read the word cat. And reading simple sentences once they've mastered that, and it's consistent with their phonics knowledge. So we're talking about reading special phonics books that only have sounds in that children have been exposed to and have learnt. And when it says including some common exception words, what we mean by that are some words don't actually follow the rules of phonics. So, for example, if you think of the word the, that would be a common exception word. Children have to learn that in a different way, so probably more familiar to a lot of you what you did at school, kind of a look, check, say sort of thing. So being able to just read those words, the children will be exposed to them throughout the year and will learn them gradually as they progress. So helping your child to read every day at home with your child. You can read to them and they can read you if they're ready. They can pretend to read. Sometimes children like to pretend to read. That's all good. We like that. That's fantastic and helpful as well. Read good quality story books and information books. So if you want to find out about dinosaurs, let's pick up a dinosaur book, have a look and see if we can learn some facts. Encourage your child to read labels and signs in environment. You go to the supermarket, do they recognise some of the names? If they see a bus go by, does that look familiar? You'll be surprised by how many of these labels are actually familiar to your child. So do give it a go. And then read regular words and common exception words. So these are the types of books that we're sending home with you. We'll talk a bit more about what those mean and give some examples in a little bit. Okay, so reading to your child, what do you do? So begin by introducing the book. So here's a book here I've got here. Just going to bring it onto the camera. We look at the front cover together. We look at the back cover and the blurb. We look at the title and the author. Do I know this author? Have I read a book by this author before? Introduce the story. So what can we see on the front cover? What do you think might happen? Who are the characters in the story? We've got Zog, who's a dragon. We've got a teacher, Madame Dragon, and we've got Zog's friends in his class. You might introduce some new or difficult vocabulary. Perhaps we come across the word peppermint and we're not sure what that means. You can say, well, peppermint is a type of sweets that people like to eat. You might say we'll ask the children what's going to happen next. Will Zog get a golden star at the end of the story? What do you think? What's going to happen when the knight goes to fight Zog? Make a prediction. Doesn't matter whether we're right or wrong. What matters is we're thinking about the story and using our understanding to help us, and we're showing that we understand what we've already read. So we're beginning to read a book. What are the beginning stages that children need to know about? So they need to be able to handle books with care. We make sure we hold books carefully, we don't bend them. We turn the pages really carefully, we make sure we don't get any of them torn. We hold the book this way up, not this way. And we understand that in English we read words from left to right. So I've got this up here, I don't know if you can see it in the camera. We know, even though we can't read the words, that this is the direction that the adult, if they're reading to us, reads the words. Okay. We're aware of how stories are structured, what happens at the beginning, what happens at the middle, what happens at the end. And we're able to recognise some sounds and say them, even if we can't read the words. So if I'm looking at the word Zog, oh, I can see that has today's sound in. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so before they can read, so here are some things to consider for that. One of the key skills children need when they start to learn to read, and as you help them learn to read, is the ability to hear all the different sounds in a word. So, for example, knowing that a word like dog is made up of 3 different sounds, d, o, g. A good way to tune your child's ears to these sounds is to play some sound and listening games. We've been doing lots in class recently, so if you ask a child, I'm sure they can give you some examples or just have a chat with us. Make a sound, silly or sensible, loud or soft, and get your child to copy it, and then ask them to make a sound for you to copy too. Play with the sounds around you. So when you are out for a walk, keep your ears open and see how many different sounds you can hear: cars, birdsong, wind and trees, so on. Your child can get a point if they hear a sound, or an extra point if they can copy it. Have fun with animal sounds. Can your child make the right noise or say an animal name when they hear a sound? You can have some funny actions as well. So just play with it, have a bit of fun, make it light and enjoyable. Rhyme time. So if your child can hear and copy rhymes, they'll have a real head start with reading. That's one of the many reasons why we do lots of nursery rhymes for children when they're younger. If you say a simple one-syllable word like pat, ask your child to say a word that rhymes with it. It doesn't matter if it's a real word, it could be bat, or it could be a made-up one like that. The important thing is that they've heard and they've copied the rhyme. Say your child's name, or a favourite toy's name, or a friend's name. See how many rhyming words your child can think of. And sing or say some rhyming songs, nursery rhymes or poems together at the end of the rhyming line. Let your child add a rhyming word. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you... See what they can come up with. It doesn't have to be R. So the letter sounds. Once your child knows the alphabet, you can introduce the main letter sounds. We've already started doing some of that in school. So explain that although the letter A's name sounds like A, the sound it makes is usually a short A sound, like at the start of apple. So look at an alphabet book, freeze or flashcards together, and help your child to make the most common sound for each letter. Use the short vowel sounds: A as in apple, F as in egg, I as in igloo, O as in octopus, U as in umbrella. They'll learn the long vowel sounds later, along with all the other sounds letters can make. For the consonants like st, b, etc., try and say the sounds without adding an A sound at the end. I know it's really tempting, especially when sometimes children want to say like a d really loudly, or b really loudly. They might go duh or burr. This is actually not a good habit to have, because it means when they start trying to blend the sounds together, it makes it extra difficult. So keep them really what we call pure sounds. So st, b, k, and without the sound at the end. Once your child knows the alphabet and some of the letter sounds, they could try reading some real words if they like, just like we've been doing in class. At school. So what we're learning at school and we'll be doing later in the year. So we begin by introducing a small group of letters, normally sat, p, I and n, The children have already been learning those sounds, so hopefully you've been seeing them coming home in their book bags for the reinforcement we've been doing in class. They are taught one sound of these letters with a short vowel sound, so A is an apple and I as an igloo. They learn to read words by sounding out the letters and then blending the sounds together to read the words. So, for example, sat becomes the word sat. Using these letters and sounds, children can quickly read simple words like sat, pin, tap, pit and sip. These are what we call phonics decodable words. Children can use what they've learnt in their phonics to help decode the words. They can even read a few short nonsense sentences, such as Pat is in a pit. It may sound a bit odd, but actually, if a child is familiar with all of those sounds in that sentence, they then have the tools to be able to read the entire thing, and it builds their confidence, and it's just a fabulous way to help them learn to read. The letters and sounds are taught very quickly and practiced over and over again until they're very familiar. Then more letters and sounds are added so that soon children know all the letters of the alphabet and the sound for each letter. Once children know all the letters and sounds, they can then learn more complex sounds and letter patterns. So starting with the digraphs, for example, I was talking to you about, and as they progress through school, they'll be learning alternative sounds as well. Also decodable reading books. So we'll be doing that with your child in school, reading with them. We also would like you to read with them at home and practice that skill of decoding. So phase 2 phonics, what we mean by that is this is where the children are at in their learning. We're currently learning phase 2 phonics. We teach groups of sounds together each week. So at and p has been taught, I, and d has been taught, and we're in the process of teaching g, o, k, and k this week. Okay. You'll see the sheets come home for children to reinforce them, and we'll constantly be revisiting these sounds over and over again, so they become really familiar. I don't really have to think about it. But if you have a look here, you can see kind of an outline of the order in which the sounds we learnt. So we start with the individual letter sounds that you might associate with, like the alphabet, and then you can see towards the end we're moving towards what we call those digraphs, where there's more than one letter. Okay, so we'll talk a bit more about that later. At the bottom here, you'll see something called tricky words. Tricky words, we're referring to words that you can't use your phonics to read. So I mentioned earlier the word the. Can't read that. If I said t, h, f, can't blend those sounds together to read the word the. I need to be able just to remember that that is the word the by looking at it. So I, the, no, go, and into. These are the tricky words that children will be learning in this section of the year. So this is the sort of thing where flashcards are really helpful, or just practicing looking at them in environment and drawing attention to them. All these things can help the children be familiar and remember them to recall them when they come across them in a book. Okay, talk about the book. So recapping on some of the things we've mentioned earlier about skills in reading, when you're going to read with your child their reading book, these are things that are really helpful. So discuss the book before you then read it. Ask your child to predict the end of the story. What do you think might happen next? How do you think the story might end? Talk about what's happened so far. So find a natural pause point and stop and go, oh, what's happened so far? Make a prediction. Discuss the key features in the book. Retell the story of the book together. Discuss the main characters in the story. What are they like? Use some interesting words to describe them. Talk about how stories are structured. What happens in the beginning? What happens in the middle? What happens at the end? Is there a problem in the story? Do I fix it as a solution? Relate scenarios and events in the book to things that they are relevant to them. Maybe your book's about going to the park. You could talk about when you last went to the park. Oh, that slide looks a bit like the one we went to the other day. Just sort of making children engage with text in many different ways. Read it 3 times, decoding and understanding, and then for fluency. Okay, so here is a typical type of decodable phonics book that you might find in your child's book bag. So you have a look at the front cover together, discuss what it might be about. Have we seen a drum like this before? Does it look familiar? And then we have a go at using a sounds to decode it. So the books that your children should have are books that have familiar sounds in it. So there shouldn't be any sounds in here that they haven't already come across in class. You look at the sentence together. Let's lift this one up here to the camera so you can see it. So you point underneath the word. There we go. Oh. and we say pat, pat. Okay. If your child can't read it, please don't jump in and tell them what the word says. It's best for you just to pause and wait and just hold your finger there a couple of seconds more and just wait. Most of the time they'll go back and they'll just correct it themselves. If you find they really are struggling, you can model it for them. So you can do my turn, your turn, you go pat, pat, your turn, and then they can do it. But only do that if they're really finding it difficult, because often they will surprise you. There we go. You can see there's another example of the word. Oh, coming up from the camera, sorry, it's not the best view. There we go. So we go sat, sat. So squashing those sounds together to read the word. You can also read the sentence back after they've read it themselves. So if they had said pat, 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 they've read all that independently, then you can read it back and go pat, 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 just to sort of reassure them and build up the pace and keep it exciting for them. But make sure that they're the children. The children are actually the ones that read the word first, ideally, because we're all about building their confidence and their independence in the process. Okay, in case you're not familiar with some of these words, here's a bit of vocabulary. So regular words are phonics words that you can use your sounds to decode. Common exception words are those tricky words, so words like I and the, you can't use your phonics knowledge for, you just have to be able to recognise them and be familiar with them. Word bank is when we're talking about a selection of words that we're building up a familiarity with. So children will be building up a familiarity with a selection of common exception words across the year, and they'll see them regularly and be able to refer to them for their work. Blending is when you say lots of sounds in quick succession and then blend them together to read the word. So cat, blend it together to make the word cat. You say it quicker, then you should be able to hear the word. Instant blending is when children reach a stage where they don't actually have to say cat anymore. They just do it in their head. So they look at the word, they're blending in their head, and they just read the word cat. And that's about it. I'll leave you with some resources and websites if you want to find out some more information or maybe play some games with your children just to reinforce their learning. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it.